no single person in this room that is speaking for these data centers, right? There's nobody who wants them.
Thank you so much for considering this moratorium. I appreciate that you listened to our discussions in the past.
The last thing we need is a data center.
And topping the news at 5:30, the town of Tonawanda officially passed a law last night to temporarily pause the construction of large data centers for 1 year.
Town leaders say the move will give them more time to review and strengthen local zoning rules as it mirrors Governor Kathy Hochul's similar statewide pause that she enacted earlier this summer. Joined now by Town of Tonawanda Supervisor John Flynn. John, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
This obviously was a very popular opinion, a popular move. Our Angelica Gallagher was at the town meeting last night. You, of course, were there. To a person, not one person, spoke against this moratorium, this year pause. You got to feel like you're in the right place.
I do, but I'll push back a little bit
Sure.
on that last person or second last person who commented there. There are people who are for data centers. They just haven't, come to town board meetings, all right, or come to planning board meetings. But, they're, and I wasn't going to say this last night there because, I kind of know how to read a room a little bit. And, and so, but I will say now that, there are pros and cons to this thing, but this is a perfect opportunity to have a pause to look at it and analyze all the issues before you even get to that point about going forward.
Now, what are some questions that you are receiving from your residents? I assume, of course, everyone's concerned about their bills going up,
Yes.
The water usage, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Are you then taking those concerns from the constituents and then looking into them?
Yes. So if you think about it, there are 3 areas of concern here. There's electricity, there's environmental, and there's a business concern too, because a lot of these data centers across the country come into a municipality, operate for a couple years, then go bankrupt and leave. And now you're stuck with a building, all right, a warehouse, all right? So, mainly though, it's 1 and 2, the environmental and the electricity. That's what we're hearing. So by the state, though, now taking the lead and doing the moratorium themselves with an executive order, they now have the resources to actually analyze those issues properly. And we're just going to kind of sit back and see what they do and see what they say and then go from there.
That's good. I mean, you know that one of the reasons why data center companies are choosing a state like New York, there are 2 reasons. One, geographic and weather. It's cooler. It's easier to keep those superheated computers a little bit cooler with using less resources. The other reason is the state has not, this is the reality, the state and other municipalities like Town of Tonawanda have not caught up with all of the ancillary things that could happen once data centers are here. It is incumbent upon you as a protector of the town of Tonawanda and taxpayer money to know what is at stake before, like you said, what happens, they get done and they pop out and now you're left with a mess.
Absolutely. There's no question about that, Dave. I mean, no one actually thinks about the consequences of actions that occur maybe 2, 3, 5 steps down the road. And so you definitely have to analyze all those factors before you even get to the point where, hey, we're going to consider doing this. I mean, there's a point of actual analysis and study before you even get to the point of, hey, we're going to consider this now. So we're at the very early stages of this.
It's been interesting to hear the perspective from residents where data centers have actually been built, where they feel as though they voiced their concerns, it went on deaf ears, and then suddenly, overnight seemingly, these data centers have popped up in their neighborhoods. Then they can't sell their homes because who wants to buy a house down the street from a data center?
Absolutely.
What can you gather? What information are you now looking into? Because, of course, the data center companies are saying, yes, this is fantastic. We won't do this. We won't harm the neighborhood. But then you're hearing from environmentalists or other places. So how do you gather this information?
Well, first of all, what's been interesting, and that's a great question, because what I've learned in the past 2 months is that it's not just the environmentalist. It's not just the activists who are against data centers. The reality is, Marley, is that Joe Sixpack, the regular guy and girl in Tonawanda and everywhere in the country, is against data centers, all right? So it's morphed now from beyond just the activists and environmentalists who normally show up at these town board meetings. So I have to address everyone's concerns. And again, what you analyze is Are your electric bills going to go up? Is the grid capable of even being able to hold enough juice for this data center? That's on the electricity side. On the environmental side, how much noise is it going to make? How much water is it going to use? Where's that water going? What kind of stuff are they going to emanate in the air from these big warehouses? So there are a lot of issues and a lot of things from different platforms here you got to look at.
You did say there were both sides to this, and there are people that support it. Once this moratorium is done, perhaps folks could start moving in and building these centers across the state or even in the town of Tonawanda. Do you know what the economic impact could be? Because right now, county agencies are throwing tax breaks at these places to say, you know, look at what's happening in the town of Alabama out at the Stamp Center. They're getting billions in tax subsidies. Is there any money to be made from these things? Let's say you get the zoning regs and everything is in place and we're good. They now set a permit. Can the town make money on these?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
But so going back to your first point about tax breaks, okay, I can tell you that that's not going to happen. All right. So I mean, not only are they not going to get tax breaks, and again, this is assuming now. Sure. Let's assume that we can put all the guardrails on these things, and they can address and answer all the electricity and environmental concerns. All right. Let's just assume that for now. All right. If that happens, then we can enter into a community benefit agreement like they have at the Bill Stadium, all right? And we can make this developer say, hey, all right, you want to come here? Well, guess what? I want 8 new baseball diamonds. I want a new putting green in my golf course, all right? I got a whole list of things that I want, okay? So that's the kind of stuff that we can do in order to get them to invest back in the community on top of being on the tax rolls now and collecting taxes now from this multi-billion-dollar business. So yes, there are benefits.
Recently, there was a meeting in the town of Tonawanda of other local leaders and state officials. Did you feel coming out of that there would be support for the town depending on the situation, depending on the decision, no matter what, that you will find the resources thanks to both state officials but also local leaders kind of coming together to determine what the right course of action is going to be?
Yeah, I'm confident that the state is going to take the lead here and do a thorough analysis of all the issues. The governor's committed to that, okay? So I have no doubt that that's going to happen. Right now, though, I mean, so let's assume that we get a thorough analysis here, all the issues addressed, all the questions answered. Even with that done, I'm not sure as we sit here right now that a data center, though, is ever going to be built in the town of Tonawanda. It's possible. I'm not making my mind up yet. I want to, you know me. I want to gather all the evidence, okay? I want to, evaluate all the evidence, and then go from there. But as of right now, I can tell you now, the public is not for data centers. So they've got to convince the public now that we can put the guardrails on here and make this work in Tonawanda.
And elsewhere.
And elsewhere, correct.
It's a story that obviously we're going to continue to follow because this is concerning to a lot of people. Just look who showed up at one meeting in one town last night. Town of Tonawanda Supervisor John Flynn, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.